Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Rachel right here, and today we are working on Mad Kitty by Diamond Art Club. Originally this artwork is from Mandy Manzano and it is a 71 by 51 round drill diamond painting that I got from diamondartclub.com. This is an amazing painting. I have been working on it quite a bit, and not as much as I want, but definitely I've been working on it, and this is driving me nuts, but I'll get to that in a minute. I just want to let you know that in this video I'll be working on my diamond painting, but you can join me with whatever it is that you're working on right now. It doesn't matter what it is. If you just like some company today, that is why I am making the videos. So come join me and we'll talk about what happened this week and maybe chit chat with a little bit of questions and stuff, and I'll tell you what's going to happen this week. So thank you all so much for joining me, and let's dig in. So first up, I should mention that in last week's video, I had a giveaway. So I asked everyone to rank what their favorite images were from the site or from the video. And I should also make mention, oh gosh, that the thing that I'm using in this testing out just came right out of the pen. That's no good. Okay. I'm trying out glue dots for the first time, so it was recommended to me as a wax alternative. We're trying to make this work. Anyway, so I had the giveaway in my last video, and so I'm gonna insert a clip right here to let you know who won. Hello guys, so good morning. This is Wednesday morning and I'm inserting this video here so that we can pick the winners for the giveaway. Now, I've thought long and hard about how I'm going to do this, and I think the easiest way for me to do it is just to pick the particular painting that someone wanted in their lineup and just give them that painting. There is only one of each available that Diamond Art Club has held, and they're going to be shipping it directly from their factory. So I have really no control over changing this once it's been done, just out of fairness. And if you already purchased it somehow because of the last release, I'm going to do those two first. I apologize, but maybe you can find someone to give it to. So that's the way that I'm going to do it. So I've gone ahead and I think you can see here, I have already copied the link from the YouTube studio and I put it here. I'm filtering the comments based on the text, the name of the painting itself. So we're going to start with Meridia by Micah Jelena. I can talk. I already got the comments. There are 84 comments with that name in it. So I'm going to choose the name, and I'm going to check to make sure that I have them in my Happy Mail form, because if you're not in the form, then I can't send it to you. You would have had to enter in the form. So please, if you're new here and you haven't filled in the form, it's called the Happy Mail form, and it's just in the description box of my videos. So let's get started. Meridia will go to May. May, congratulations. I definitely know that I have your details. So awesome. Congratulations. She said, I'd like Call of the Wild and Meridia, so that's awesome. Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, so Meridia is May. I'm going to write that down and I'll be right back. Perfect. Okay, next up is Fairy on the list. That's the Sugar Plum Fairy by, who was it? Mandy Manzano. There were 161 unique commenters with Fairy in the comment. So let's see who this is going to be. Shayna in Colorland, congratulations. Her favorite is fairy, so that's awesome. Let me just write down your details and I'll be right back. Awesome, I have your details too, that's great. Next one was Call of the Wild. I'm just gonna write wild because I think everybody pretty much had that in it. And they did not write wolf, thank you very much. This makes it so much easier when you follow directions. I really appreciate it. So that's 128 unique comments. So let's pick a winner. Who's it gonna be? So excited. Emma Talbot. Congratulations! It's actually your first choice. This is going really well. Thank you so much, Emma. Let me get your details down and I'll be back in just a moment. Perfect. Okay, next in the video I had the mask, which is a beautiful partial. Let's get the comments. There's 142 comments. I thought that this one would be the least popular, but it's actually really beautiful and I can't wait to see it. So let's get a winner for this painting. I'm so sorry. I'm having trouble pronouncing this. Fasho? Maybe? I tried my best. Congratulations! It says that Meridia would have been her first choice, but followed by the mask. So excellent. I'm glad you got one that you will like. Excellent. Thank you so much for filling in the form. The last one that we're going to draw today is for the unicorn, which I think is really funny and cute. And let's see, there were 76 comments, and let's see who's going to win it. Margaret. Very good. I'm glad that at least it's your second choice. I'm just so happy that Diamond Art Club reached out to me, and thank you all so much for your kind comments. I'm so sorry I wasn't able to answer them all because there were just so many coming in. But thank you all so much for participating and for following my channel and everything else. I do appreciate it. I hope you're having fun here, and I look forward to the next 15K too. So thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of the Wipnchat. Bye! Thank you to everyone who participated by writing a comment in the last video. You would have had to actually give me a ranking of at least the first two that you liked for me to be able to count your comment. So I hope you understand. If you didn't do that, then I couldn't choose your comment. So, but I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much to Diamond Art Club who supplied these canvases. A lot of these were either released last weekend or are upcoming releases that are not yet available to the public, which is amazing. So yeah, just amazing. And thank you to everybody who has continued to watch or has joined the nonsense of this channel. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your time here and that my videos make you happy. That's all I am trying to do here. And I'm happy that I was able to do something that made sense, since I do live in Ireland and most of my subscribers live out of the country from me. So it can be really tough sometimes to have a giveaway. Financially and logically, or logistically, not logically, logistically. So, so yeah, I really do appreciate that Diamond Art Club reached out and asked if I wanted to do that. I don't know when I'll have another giveaway on my channel. I'm going to make it a surprise. I know that most people do it on the big milestones, but you never really know with me. I'm just that kind of person. Today is Wednesday. Well, today, as I'm filming, it's actually Tuesday, because I always film on Tuesdays. So it's the 26th of May, and today has been an interesting day. Oh, it did it again. I don't know if this is gonna work. You guys, it's only been 25 minutes. Don't know what I'm doing wrong here. We're going to give it one more go. And if it stops again, I'm going to have to go back to the other video and let everybody know that it's just not working for me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I am using glue dots, these, today. I hope you can see that. I can't see what you see. Glue dots from Botstick. This is the same company that I got my blue tack from. And someone said that this is really good for diamond painting. But it keeps falling out of my pen. So yeah, not sure. I could be doing it completely wrong. And you'll hear me say that twice because I've just said that on the video that I'm filming on the other camera. But yeah, today, the past week, okay, the past week has felt like winter. No lie. It's like it's been in the upper 50s, the low 60s all past week. There was hurricane force winds earlier on the weekend, like last Thursday, Friday. It was awful. I feel like I've just hibernated again. And after April, to be honest with you, it was kind of a downer. And yeah, I needed some time off. So I've taken the last 2 days off of YouTube because like my house just fell apart. My mental state fell apart. I don't know. There's a couple of factors in there. And if you've been following my journey, you know that I struggle with a few things. So just trying to get my brain to click back into place, you know? And it's something that I really wanted to talk about in this video because I know a lot of people who watch me, they also have had a battle with anxiety and depression. And I think that in a way, a lot of us have. You know, if you've been on the earth for a little bit, even if you're young, I mean, it's not easy being young these days. You have probably felt some kind of something, you know. Not everybody's perfect, you know. No matter what society is trying to sell you, no one is perfect. So I think that we need to normalize the struggles that people do have with their mental health. And that's what I am striving to do with my channel. I was a perfectly fit and abled person up until probably the age of 26. And then something happened, something clicked, and I became really miserable and depressed. And I suppose, you know, I think I have an idea of the things that could have triggered it, but mostly I think it was just that I lived abroad and I kept seeing everyone that I knew leave. After a few months, I would make really good friendships and then they'd have to leave. And it was hard because I'm not a social butterfly and it's hard for me to make friends. So when I do make friends, I keep those friends forever, you know? And yeah, I think that did take a toll on me. And eventually I just left. And the idea of teaching abroad again, in one way, it really does inspire me. I would love to go be in a position where I have to learn how to do things all over again, you know, how to maneuver in a different society with another language. It's always really fascinating and I like that, but 4 years is a little too long. I was becoming a lifer, so, and I just couldn't handle it. So now that I know that, it's okay. But well, I'm not here to tell you my life story, but just so that you know, what I struggle with now is something that I have learned about thanks to a very, very dear friend of mine, Jessie. We were talking this weekend, and we've talked before about this, and she's quite open about mental health on her channel and in her, real life, and I remember that she posted something a few months ago, maybe even a year ago. And I remember a light bulb moment happening where I saw this little cartoon and it showed someone, and I'm trying to remember exactly what they were doing, but that was a while ago. But essentially it said, it's hard for me to do things that other people don't even have to think about doing. And then it listed off all the things that I also struggled with at that time and still do sometimes, occasionally. Like washing dishes, brushing teeth, feeding myself, doing laundry, the chores. And I suppose that a part of growing up is just, getting on with things. Nothing gets easier. You just grin and bear it and move on with your life or whatever. And I think for most people that's pretty easy because it's just accepted. You're an adult. This is what you do. And I don't think that what I have is a Peter Pan complex or anything. I mean, I don't want to be a kid again or anything like that, but I find it really difficult to do the small things. And I didn't have a name for it before. And when I saw that cartoon, suddenly I was like, oh my God, I've just finally been able to give a name to that thing that's been plaguing me for years. And it is called executive dysfunction. I'll give you an example. Do you let the dishes pile up until you don't have any more dishes left to use, clean dishes left to use, and that's when you do the dishes, or you might only just wash one? Or do you not feed yourself until you're so hungry that you'll eat 2 servings of food? Because you just don't have the energy. It feels like you don't have enough energy to move. Some days I find it really hard to get out of bed, like this morning. And just as a side note, I am not a doctor, so my advice is not medically accurate. I feel like I should point that out. I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not telling you what to do. That's what I'm trying to say. I am not liable. Please talk to a doctor. Please find help because it's really important. But even with my medication, sometimes I have bad days. And this morning was a really difficult day and I don't know why. But eventually I was able, and I did get out of bed, and I did, brush my teeth and do the dishes and all those things that some days I find almost impossible. And I know that's an exaggeration, but I think unless you walk a mile in someone's shoes, it can be hard to understand. I do not suffer from chronic pain or anything like that. So that isn't my issue. My issue is all mental. And really, logically, I mean, I'm not an idiot. And neither are you. But I know that there's a way to fix it through cognitive behavioral modification. Basically, you just change the way that you think about things, and eventually you will have the coping mechanism to be able to live normally, like you would if you didn't have to think about it, because your brain will automatically stop sabotaging you. Does that make sense? It's hard for me to talk about because I don't know everything about it, and I'm not a professional. And I think that if you resonate with this in any way, you should definitely do some research of your own and definitely find someone to talk to about it, whether that be a friend, you know, a trusted person in your family. I find that it's easier to talk to friends than it is to talk to my husband, not because I don't, you know, trust him or anything like that, but because it is difficult for someone who hasn't experienced it or who's too close to you to help you. Do you know what I mean? If you have an accepting partner in your life, it could be too much of a burden, is what I'm trying to say. That's how I feel. That might not be 100%, you know, your situation or anything like that. But definitely go talk to someone. I think that grace is really important, but also recognizing that you have the problem is the first step of that healing journey that you have to go through. And when you feel like you're ready, reach out and get help. It's really important not to wallow, though. You know, if you catch yourself wallowing, it can make it worse, and that's no good. It's no good for the people that are near you, and it's not good for you either. I found myself wallowing a few years ago. Before I started YouTube, before any of that, I realized that I was moaning a lot to my friends, and it caused some people in my life to become distant from me because all I ever did was complain. And I have since gone back to those people. They never said anything to me about it, but I noticed, and I was like, yikes. I don't think I was a very fun person to be around, and I'm really sorry because I don't think that was really me, you know? Deep down, I know who I am, and even though over time we tend to change, and you know, we're chameleons, we're humans, it's necessary to change and evolve. And I'm so glad I did, because I really was a totally self-centered person when I was younger, and I don't like to be reminded of that. And since, I think I've grown into a pretty mature, albeit, you know, I like to be goofy and I like to be silly. That is a part of who I am. But I'm more mature and I'm more accepting of people. And that is, I feel like my emotional intelligence has gone up a bit after suffering through this depression. I hope that makes sense. I'm so close to tearing this off, you guys. I know a lot of you who diamond paint, you replace the clear cover with the opaque cover because of the sound of the crinkling plastic. I get it. I really do. I totally understand. I think that right now, because it is officially summer, it's just, I'm sticking to that plastic now. We don't have air conditioning here, so it is a little damp underneath. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I'm going through this journey, and it's something that you can't hide it. It is a part of my life, and it will be in the channel and stuff, but again, like, I'm not giving medical advice. I don't want anybody to think that, but taking care of yourself and getting a hold of your mental state is really important, and totally much easier these days than it was when I was younger. Like when I was in high school or in college, it was so taboo. You just couldn't talk about it. And we've come a long way in 10, 12, 15 years that younger people are not afraid about saying this stuff out loud. And I've even noticed, okay, this is going to be a total tangent, but stay with me. I have noticed that even on these like shows, the one I'm thinking about right off the top of my head is Reaction Time, which is kind of like this decade's answer to Fine Brothers Entertainment from YouTube. It's totally different. But basically there's these people, you know, they make these videos reacting to things, okay? It's just something. I think that everybody likes them because, you know, there's something primal about it, I guess, like reacting to how someone looks or what happens when someone falls or whatever, which I don't appreciate the hurt, the people getting hurt kind of thing. But that is getting less and less popular. And acceptance is way, way more, like, how do I explain this? For example, I think those guys on Reaction Time, I saw it on YouTube, or not YouTube, on Facebook. And there were 3 men and they were reacting to these TikToks of young girls, right? And the challenge or whatever, I really don't get TikTok. I know I'm so old. But basically it was a challenge to show what your smile looks like and how ugly your smile is. But these kids today aren't like us when I was a kid. I mean, we were savage. We would rip people apart for their appearance. These guys are actually like saying, no, she looks good, or he looks fine, or those are just baby teeth, it's grand, you know, or I can't believe that she doesn't think she is, you know, beautiful. And when I saw that, I wanted to cry, because that is a huge difference compared to what I went through when I was in high school. And I'm really proud of this generation of kids. You might look at them and be like, oh, I hate them, oh, they're annoying or whatever. But actually, like, compared to what I was like when I was in high school, these kids are so grounded, and I'm really, really proud of them. Yeah, so I'm not going to get teary-eyed. I actually really miss my teaching job, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm having such a weird week. This week, I just can't get it together because all I really want to do is prepare to go back to this job that I don't have. I usually teach English as a second language in the summer. It's the one thing that I look forward to every summer, because not only am I engaged in a career path and a job that I really enjoy, but I'm surrounded by really amazing people. The teachers and staff of the school are absolutely awesome, and they inspire me to be a better person every year. And just being in their presence, because normally those teachers come from all over the world to teach every summer, you know. Without that, my summer feels incomplete. I know that, you know, change is hard, but I feel like I'm grieving the time that I can't have with these people who I look up to and enjoy so much. So yeah, I think that's a big bummer right now, and I'm just trying to cope with it, you know. But I have to keep reminding myself that there are a lot of really good things happening as well, and they shouldn't be overlooked. So, like, for example, you guys remember when I opened that friend mail? It was 2 friend mail episodes ago. I got some boxes from Sherry from Diamond Art Addiction, and she sent me these bonsai tree seeds from Amazon, and you guys, a few of them have popped up. They're so cool. Just these little tiny seedlings, and James was really impressed because trees take a really long time to germinate. So yeah, we're really happy, and I hope so much that I can keep them alive. I've never grown a tree before. I do really like things that are difficult to grow, like orchids and stuff, but really succulents are my jam because you only have to water them like once every few months. But it's been really cool watching them grow and watching the garden bloom. We've got a lot of vegetables this year, and thank you all for your comments and your well wishes for James. I didn't tell him, obviously, but I really appreciate that you are thinking of him. He seems to be doing okay. But again, we are trying to do things like take these really long walks in nature and just get out of the house and try to be more active and stuff, but to take our minds off of the monotony of things. Things are very monotonous here at the moment. So even though we're opening up the country slowly, it's still really slow, and that's a good thing, but it's a little difficult for people who are unemployed and wish to get back to work, you know. So hopefully, hopefully that won't be too much longer. Hopefully we'll hear back soon. But thank you all so much for all of that. I really do appreciate it. Let's see what else. It's 5 o'clock here now. And like I said, as I'm recording this, I'm not going to pick the winner until tomorrow, right before I edit and upload this video, because I want to give everybody a fair shot. And if you missed it, it's okay. Don't worry. We'll have another one eventually. It's all right. It's fine. Don't worry. Yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling a little bit for words because I don't know what to say really. Everything else has been, kind of average. I did start another knitting project, and it's going really, really fast. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thinking about actually going in the garden and sitting down with James here in a few minutes so that we can just enjoy the evening together. It's so warm. I'm wearing shorts today. It's insane. But that's a good thing, I'm so grateful that we have a back garden and I can just spend time outside and I don't need to interact with other people. I did see that there were parks in California and maybe New York or something where they were drawing circles on the grass. I send out all of my love to those of you who live in cities right now. I can't even imagine what you must be going through. And I wish that there was a way that, we could do this really, really safely. But I think that if you were feeling really claustrophobic and like you need to get out, I would highly recommend doing a kind of a game with yourself. Just imagine that you're planning a trip for next year, you know, or you could just start planning the trip, you know, pick a place that you've always wanted to travel, and you know, start researching where would you stay, how would you get there, map out where you would go and how long you would stay there. I've actually done it and it helps because, well, not only do I love traveling anyway, but it's kind of like, even if you're just backpacking or whatever, you know, it gives you ideas, and maybe after everything, it'll be possible for you to do that. And wouldn't it be cool to like already know the places that you want to visit? And, you know, I think it's a good idea. I mean, maybe it's not completely realistic. Let's be honest. I mean, I'd love to go to the Maldives on a on a completely paid vacation and, you know, not have to pay for food and drink and stuff, but that's never going to happen, more than likely. But, you know, just the act of looking at the pictures and stuff, it really makes me feel good, as well as watching like National Geographic shows or something on Disney Plus. Like I just like looking at that stuff. It makes me feel a little less cooped up, you know. And I'm sure that for different people that looks different, you know, like that's probably not everybody's bag, but if you like to travel like I do, maybe just plan your dream vacation. Why not? And who knows, you might be able to do it after this. Who knows? A lot of you are in university or college, and that it's still attainable. You know, you have plenty of time. And even if you're my age, it's still totally doable. Just might take a little longer to save up, you know. But that's what I've been trying to focus on lately, is saving up for a mega vacation, and surprising my husband with it, because he's not as forward thinking in that way as I am. I don't think he'd ever surprise me with a vacation. I'm surprised that he proposed. I thought I was gonna have to do it. But yeah, that's just who I decided to marry, and that's fine. Okay, so we are almost done this section. That's awesome. I'm trying to think about what else there was that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Isn't this diamond painting gorgeous? I'm loving it so much. I think it was charted really well, to be honest. I was a little kind of sad that there weren't any ABs, but I have a few different shades of this blue, and I thought that would be the best color for it. You could enhance this however you want, you know. But I've put in some blue AB. I think it was number 996 from Sparklers with Tima. dpwithsparklers.com. This is shade 996. And I mixed it up with the 3844 on this canvas. So it stands out really nice, but it also blends with the nearby colors, you know. Let's see, what else do we have? We have this one, which is 939. I'll catch that one in a minute. And then there's number 4. There aren't a lot of these on the canvas. And then we'll open a new section as well here in a moment. But yeah, how are you doing? How is everything where you're living? Are they starting to reopen? I hope that everybody is staying safe. And That's all we can do at the minute. Number 4. Okay, and then, sorry, I'm just focusing a little bit because there's a lot of color changes at the end of the section. There we go. I wonder why I started here. I don't remember. I usually start... I actually had a question about this on another video. Why did I say that I start in the upper left, but I sometimes start in the upper right? I think what I meant was I start in the upper left corner. I think I had it turned the other way, and that's why I did it. Yeah, I had it turned the other way. But when I've opened the section of the upper left corner, then I work from right to left so that my hand doesn't stick to the stickiness. Does that make sense? But there's no wrong way. You can diamond paint however it works for you, and that's perfectly fine. No one is going to come to your house and like attack you for diamond painting differently than me. In fact, I totally think that you should go way off and just experiment with all kinds of different ways, because it is fun. It's really fun. I saw a symbol way over here. I'm going to hold my finger down on it because I don't want to lose it. There we go. And fill that in too. I feel like I should have maybe done a snack size painting in between, because now it's like, I don't know. Let's move this down. I feel like it's almost unmanageable, this size, but that's not true. It's definitely manageable. Let's just do, hang on, I'm losing it. You can watch me fail. All right, so because I have the washi tape on this side, I need to hold this down and then pull that side. Well, I messed that up too, but it's okay. No one's coming to my house to arrest me or anything. All right. We're gonna lay down some of these glow in the dark drills. Not that you'll see them glow in the dark yet, but we'll just put some down. They're all in the cat's head, and they look exactly like the normal 310s, except I think the facets are they a little bit different? I'm not sure. Anyway. So yeah, I'm really excited for the weekend again. I've just kind of gotten in the habit of living for the weekend. Not that the only thing is that like I do these Zoom meetings with my stitching group and some crafty people, and I'm really enjoying that because I'm not socializing any other way, you know, except through YouTube comments, I guess, and the Facebook group, which has been a godsend. So thank you all who are sharing what you're working on and everything. I really enjoy looking at your progress and everything. It's so much fun. And you keep making me want to try new crafts, which is arguably a bad idea, because the last thing I need is another rabbit hole to go down. But ribbon, what was it? Beautiful embroidery and ribbon work, and I think she called it stumping or something. And then there's a few people who are doing these really small hexagon paper. What was it called? Sorry, I'm trying to recall now. Someone sent them to me once. It's these little pieces of cloth shaped like hexagons. And then you hand sew them together. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But it all looks really interesting, and you know, it's nice to have something to keep you busy right now. I have kind of slowed down on either end with stitching, with diamond painting, but you know, that's kind of normal for me. I go through these kind of phases, you know, or I get really excited about a certain project and then I just zoom all the way to the end because I create deadlines in my head. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, let's see if I can bring up some more of these questions. How are we doing for time, I wonder? Ooh, 40 minutes. Okay. So I told you guys about the questions. 200 not boring questions to ask someone to get to know them better. And we've gone through dreams last time. And this particular one is called unconventional questions. It says, sometimes the oddball questions allow you to learn the most interesting things about a person. So, it says, these questions are typically to get the other person to think outside the box and really ponder something. So, we'll see. I have not read these yet, so I have no idea. Feel free to answer along down below. I'd like to get to know you better too. And maybe you'll find other people like you in the comments. Or maybe you're like me. We'll see. Let's see. Okay, so the first one is number 161. If you see a puddle on the ground, do you walk around it or over it? Well, there are a lot of puddles here. I walk over them. Unless they're huge, you know. But if they're just your, you know, a normal puddle, I would just walk over it. If it's a large one though, like, you know, too large to walk over, I would walk around it, obviously. If I were still a child, I'd probably jump in it, but that I do not do anymore. My dog though, my dog is like, Luna is like has a homing beacon for puddles. She wants to walk in all of the puddles and all of the water and get all muddy, of course, on our walks. Dogs, am I right? Number 162. If you could have a superpower, what would it be? That is pretty easy. It would be telekinesis. I would love to be able to move things around by just thinking about it, because then I would never have to touch a dirty dish ever again. I really don't like doing dishes or picking up clutter or anything like that, so I'd love some telekinesis. Plus, that way I could like move heavy stuff and, you know, I don't know. It would just be kind of cool. And what if you could like, using telekinesis, you could just like lift all of the diamonds and have them place onto the canvas. Wouldn't that be cool? That'd be pretty cool. I don't think that would be an actual superpower, but hey. Completing diamond paintings in 0.25 seconds. Okay. Number 163. If you could go back to any time in history, where would you go? Ooh, I don't really like history much. But you know, I mean, like, I overthink things, okay? So, you know, give me a second. I would say that I'd love to go back in time to the, either late Renaissance or even like Elizabethan era or the Rococo. And I say the Rococo because during that time, which would have been what, the 1760, 80, 90 in France, I believe, they knew how to throw a party. Also, I love the fashion, so I would be down for that. I am not down for the lack of toilets and hygiene and stuff. I mean, there was hygiene, but yeah. You know what I mean? That's what I would choose, because I want to wear the floofy dresses and the corsets and stuff. I like that kind of thing. Always have, always will. The social part of things, you know, fitting in and all that, you know, no, definitely not. But if it's just for food and fashion, heck yeah. Okay. 164. If you came back in your next life as an animal, what animal would you be? Well, whale. I love foxes, so I'd love to come back as a fox or a horse or maybe a bird. A flying type of bird, not a flightless bird. Because I'd love to know what it feels like to fly freely. Like a seagull. I'd like to be a seagull. That'll work. I'd like to hear what kind of animal you would like to come back as. If it was possible to do that, what animal would you come back as? I'd love to hear a funny answer as well. So if you made it this far into the video, please tell me. Please. What animal and why? Okay, 165. If you got to name a new country, how would you decide what to call it? Ooh, well, that's funny you should ask, because every summer I always do this inventing your own country kind of week-long activity for my students. And it's interesting what they decide to come up with, because a lot of them will name it after the people that are in the group. So you get some interesting names that way. Some of them name it after their biggest export. And others just choose a name that sounds good. And I think that's how I would choose a country name, is just by the way that it flows off the tongue. That's an interesting question, though. 166. What would be the title of your memoir? Rachel, Ray, and the struggle bus. I don't know. I really don't know. Because I've never thought about that. I have thought about writing down stuff that's happened to me because of my poor memory and not being able to look back on things accurately, but I stopped writing a journal years and years ago, like over a decade ago. I stopped. That's a really long story, but I used to be a prolific journal writer. It was super therapeutic for me. I may have actually talked about it here, but anyway, I don't do that anymore, and I've thought about going back and starting again, but not making it public. James just blew me kisses, so I had to blow kisses back. He's so cute. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I would call that book, actually. I'd want something to be, I would want the title to be like quirky, but not clickbait. I don't know. That's it. That's the title. Rachel Ray, quirky, but not clickbait. Okay. 167. Do you hit the snooze button or wake up immediately? I never wake up immediately. But these days, because I don't set an alarm clock, I wake up immediately, I guess. But even then, like sometimes I like to roll over and just snooze for a while. You know, it's not. I've never gotten the urgency of waking up right away. I like to lay in bed and get a few extra Z's, but sleep is super important. So make sure you're getting your sleep. And if you're not getting your sleep, talk to your doctor, please. Because it's very, very important. I have to sleep for 9 hours every night, or I don't feel like a human being the next day. That is the honest to God truth. And if I sleep 8 hours, nope, gonna have a bad day. I have to have 9 hours. So you need to listen to your body and just do what it wants, because you may want to fight it, but trust me, it's easier to just go with it than to fight it. And don't be like me and keep saying sleep is for the dead, because or I'll sleep when I'm dead. I did that for years, and I can really see the effects it's taken on me. So yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Sleep is for smart people. Okay. Number 168. What is the first thing you do in the morning? I'll let your mind go there. No, I use the lavatory, and then I make coffee. That is the first thing I do. I don't even look at my phone anymore. I just go straight to do the business and then straight into the kitchen, or I go into the kitchen, turn on the kettle, and then do my business, because, you know, that's normal. 169. What's the last thing you do at night? Brush my teeth and wash my face, in that order. I think that's the last thing I do. I don't bring my phone into the bedroom anymore, because if I do, I end up doing late night shopping, spending money that I shouldn't be spending on crafting supplies and stuff for the channel. So I stopped doing that, and now the last thing I do, I let Luna outside, brush my teeth, wash my face, let her in, and go to bed. Yep. And then she comes and curls up next to me. And it's so sweet. Number 170. Do you believe in any conspiracy theories? No judgment. No. I enjoy reading them, or, you know, watching documentaries or whatever, but I don't believe in them unless there is actual scientific fact, and then it's no longer a conspiracy theory. I don't like to dwell on them. Especially lately, there have just been so many that have cropped up because of what has happened, and it's so aggravating to me to see my friends falling prey to these misinformation campaigns. It's insane. Okay, but I'm not going to talk about it here, because this channel is not about that. Number 171. Do you think iced coffee should be only consumed in the summer or all year round? Oh my goodness, y'all. I love iced coffee. I would drink it all year round. Especially Korean iced coffee. They really know how to do it, and I miss it so much. I used to inhale the stuff. There's this coffee shop called Petit Delice, and they have this iced latte with I don't know how many pumps of sugar syrup, but oh my word, it got me through a few years of teaching littles, and I don't think I could have done it without coffee, especially iced coffee. And so you're making me really want to crave one, or make me want to get one, and I don't think I can get it already made, so I'll have to make it myself. And for those of you who live in places where you can just buy iced coffee or refrigerated coffee, I see you, but I cannot do that. So your comment to go buy it at the store will not be helpful. Trust me. I'll just be like, don't tell me. I know, I wish I could. It's a curse. It's a curse. I just have to make it myself. But no, I loved iced coffee. I would eat it, drink it all year long. It's not letting go. Let go. Let go. So far, that's not the drill's fault, is it? Or is it? Is it? It is your fault. Haha. It's a concave drill. So if your drill isn't sticking, that could be one reason why. Could be concave and not have anything to adhere it to the canvas. All right, a few more questions and then I'll let you go for the day. Number 172, would you rather be covered in fur or covered in scales? Okay, well, this is where my brain immediately went. If I'm covered in fur, then I live in a cold place. And if I'm covered in scales, I live in a hot place. So scales, please, because I'm literally a reptile. If I could bask on a stone in the hot sun all day, I would be happy as a lark. So yeah, I choose scales because heat and yes. I like being hot all the time. I much prefer it to being cold because, well, one of the reasons is because when I was a teenager, I'm so cold-blooded that I used to be freezing all the time. You know, my grandparents really loved the air conditioning, and I think they kept the house at like 69 or 70 degrees year round, you know? And I grew up like that, and it's insane, okay? Do not do that. It's so cold. And even my best friend does that, and I'm just like, I don't understand. And I don't know if it's because she also likes to snuggle up in blankets and stuff, but I don't even need that. Like, I won't turn on the air conditioner unless it's like 25, 30 degrees Celsius, but heat year round. Light up that fireplace, baby. I'm down. Like, middle of the summer, don't mind it. You will find me on my recliner wrapped up in a big fuzzy blanket in the middle of the summer. I love it. So yes, I'm the reptile. I will have the scales. That was very long-winded. Number 173, what is your idea of a perfect date? Yes, the calendar year date. That would probably be September, let's say 25th, okay? I'm picking an arbitrary date at the end of September because I love September for a lot of reasons. I love when trees start losing their leaves, or they begin to change color around September in Virginia, where I'm originally from. I enjoy the crisp feeling of the air. It's when you start wearing your scarves and boots and stuff again. I like that date. And I know I just said that I like hot days, but, or I like to be hot, but I really like autumn. It's one of my favorite seasons. I like all the seasons. I like a lot of dates, but September 25th is in my head right now. 174. We got 2 more to go. What's the most unusual place you've fallen asleep? Well, unusual to who? To whom? I have fallen asleep on several floors, which is not unusual because in certain countries that is totally acceptable. I have fallen asleep on friends' couches, not unusual. Though, see, the question doesn't go in the direction that I want it to go in. I'm going to move it into that direction because I don't think that anywhere I've ever fallen asleep is unusual. I haven't like fallen asleep in a pile of trash or anything like that, okay? I know somebody, but it wasn't me. No, I like to be comfortable. But I did once have to camp on the surface of a parking lot, like a gravel parking lot. It was horrible. At that time, I think that camping was a new concept in South Korea. I don't want to assume that, but it was almost as if the organizer of this particular festival that James and I went to, they didn't understand how camping worked. We couldn't put our tent up because the poles wouldn't go into the ground, obviously. It was a gravel, like hard surface type area. So like we went up to some staff and we were just like, can you help us? Is there anywhere else to camp? Because our tent won't go up. And they were basically like, no, this is it. This is all we have for camping. I was like, seriously? So we actually moved quite far away. I honestly think that we were probably a mile or more away from the event entrance. And we had to go outside, like outside of the whole area to find a place. And it was in the, like basically in the ditch area so that we could put our camp up. And I think a lot of people actually had to do that as well, except for those people that had, you know, the pop-up ones where you just like flick it and it stays open using some kind of force, you know, opposite force in the poles or whatever. I'm sure if you've been camping, you know what I'm talking about. Someone comes up to the camping site and like they show off by like flicking their tent and it goes and it just becomes a tent. There's no, you know, and then you just like put it in place. Well, yeah, ours didn't do that. So that was the time where I saw The Cure live. Oh my gosh, it was an amazing weekend. So amazing. I think that was the same weekend where I saw the Arctic Monkeys and like a bunch of people. We met, what's the name of that band? We listened to them religiously in Korea. I can't remember. Anyway, met a lot of really cool bands. Didn't meet them personally, just, you know, saw them live perform, and that was incredible. But that campsite was atrocious. Okay, last question. 175, at a party, where can someone find you? I'm in the corner. I'm the corner person. I don't like, I like to see everything, and I don't like anyone behind me. I don't like to be in the center of attention either. I'm usually on a couch with a drink and talking to someone in depth about something. Usually something like really, like, I don't know, deep. I'm a deep conversationalist. I don't know how to have your typical conversation. like how's the weather and that kind of thing. I always go for the really difficult topics. So you'll find me there, probably cornering someone with my conversation topic, but it's okay. I find my people and then I stick with them, and yeah, that's where I am at the party. And then if we are partying long enough and we're in a place where there's, you know, lots of music and stuff, then eventually I will probably get up and dance, but that is not guaranteed. Not guaranteed. But yeah, I like to be in the corner and just watching people and having a good time. And that's it. That's it for the questions as well. So feel free to answer them. I have it linked in the description bar. I have everything linked in the description of this video, by the way. The pen that I use, the big tray here. I'll even try to put a link for these glue dots. I don't know if I recommend them though, to be honest with you. It's not meant to be used for this craft, obviously, but it's difficult to get it in the pen. You didn't see me struggle to get it in the pen because that's in the other video. So look forward to that. That might take another 2 or 3 weeks or more. So I won't give you a complete date of when it's ready, but just so you know that that is coming eventually. And I am using a variety of different waxes, including Dreamer Designs, yellow, blue, clear, and museum putty and Quake Hold. That's what I have so far. So if you have suggestions, or if you have some that you'd like me to test out and you'd like to send it to me, just contact me and let me know, because I'm open to anything. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being awesome and coming to hang out with me today. I hope you have a wonderful week, and you know what to do if you like the video. If you want to subscribe, that's cool. Hit the bell so that you're notified when I go live on Thursday. That's tomorrow, after when you're seeing this. Thursday evening at 9 p.m. my time, which is Irish time. So just put in 9 p.m. Irish time is what my time in Google, and Google will tell you what time that is. So I'll see you there. Have a wonderful day and take care. Bye guys.